The Nikki Glaser Podcast. The Nikki Glaser Podcast.
Hello, here I am. Welcome to the show. It's the Nikki Glaser Podcast. I am in Los Angeles once again. Gonna be here for a little bit because I'm hosting the Golden Globes January 5th. Check it out on CBS Live, and then it'll be streaming on Paramount Plus after that, but you better watch it live. I'm coming in hot.
Wow.
I'm
That sounded well practiced.
I know, it really did.
Yeah.
I did a promo shoot day. I will say, oh wait, by the way, Brian Frangi's here.
Hello.
Sean O'Connor's here.
Pop, pop, pop.
And Andrew Collin is here. We did a promo shoot day.
Booyah.
We did a promo shoot early November, I want to say. Was that? I don't even know. But it's like so weird because those days you just like, we wrote like, Brian, me, and Sean wrote like, and JP wrote a bunch of jokes for it. And then then you get there. Sean, you were like somewhere, so you couldn't be on set.
Yeah, I was in Utah.
Yeah.
You were cliffhanging.
I was cliffhanging in Utah with Allie and her parents, which was really fun.
Wait, you literally cliffhanged?
No. I scramble, but I don't cliffhang. I think it's crazy to
Scrambled is the funniest thing to picture someone doing. It's just like, like it doesn't
like an
look.
animal.
It doesn't look like you're falling. It just means like you're just skittish and you're running from something. Have you ever seen that lizard being chased, or a lizard chasing a lizard is being chased by a Komodo dragon? Have you ever seen that?
Oh no!
It's like an epic saga that someone captured, like a David Attenborough, but it's like a lizard running from, like, I think a Komodo dragon.
God, that's
and
so
you're like
horrible.
rooting for the lizard, and then you're rooting for the dragon, and then it's like it's one of the best chase scenes of all time.
Oh, and then they get on a cliff, right? Isn't there a moment where they get on a cliff and they both fall off a cliff?
But it's cinematic. It's shot cinematically, and it's just like this clip that was circulating a while. Anyway,
Wow, that stuff's
they were
going
scrambling
on.
everywhere. I'm glad both those guys are dead and all of their families. And we'll never know anything about them. Even though I just did listen to a podcast, or at least 5 minutes of it, with Sam Harris talking to a guy who's trying to bring back the woolly mammoth because he wants biodiversity, and it could like save the world to bring back the woolly mammoth until everyone starts shooting it. All the Trumps.
Yeah, to try to get the tusks.
Yeah, you got to put it in your living
I'm
room
interested
wall.
in learning why that would save the planet, but
I wish I could tell you, but I fell asleep to Sam Harris's dulcet tones.
Yeah, his dulcet
Almost
tones. Man,
Woolly
that's the
mammoths are
problem.
like really good at math.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what it is?
They'll literally save the planet
Yeah.
by coming up with the equation.
They know
Yeah,
the
they
quadratic
know-
equation by
to
heart.
like
I love that there's the easiest way to save the planet is to abolish the fossil fuel industry. And we're like, no, let's bring back the woolly mammoth and see if that works.
it just we can't
They
stop
are
it.
fast. You can ride them around. Who needs?
My dad I still get triggered because my dad, every single time I would leave a light on in the house, he was like, there is a big plant somewhere with a smokestack billowing out smoke, and part of that smoke is because you left on this light. Like a bird is choking on smoke right now. The smoke, your light that you left on because you didn't even need it while we're out to dinner and it's just in your bedroom. Because those smokestacks, like when you're a kid, at least when I was so sensitive to like, why are we ruining this beautiful planet? Like smokestacks are so ominous looking.
Yeah, I mean, it's like instinctually, you know, this is a bad thing, even when you're a little kid.
Yes.
I do love you turning your light off though, and the plant's like, fuck, gotta shut down. Nikki did it tonight. Like,
But it is true. Like we all like think. Well, it's not true because I don't know.
Putting it on the individual consumer is a
failure.
It's a move from Exxon. Exxon created in 1977.
Yeah, will you tell us about that? That's like eye-opening.
So basically, they've known about how like the Industrial Revolution is the whole cause of the destruction of this planet since the 70s at least. But in the 70s, they put it all on the consumer, and that's where like carbon footprint comes from. And like recycling is all to put it on you so they don't have to change a single thing.
Right, and it gives you a false sense of control.
That you're doing something good for the planet. And then that's why like any celebrity, if you look on their Instagram, like anytime they go political, it's like, but you fly a private jet. And it's like, yeah, honestly, they could stop that for the rest of their lives. And if fossil fuel ended tomorrow, we're fine.
Yeah.
God.
We did an Adam Ruins Everything on that same thing, like the commercialization of your individual responsibility for saving this planet, and the Earth Day and recycling in general, which is a scam.
Like everything from the 80s and 90s that were like about like rah, 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 no littering and all that stuff.
Save the whales.
All to just make us feel like we can have some control over it.
What would happen if they stopped doing the fossil fuel industry stopped? Like, how would it affect our lives?
I mean, immediately, it would be bad for us. I think we have to ease out of it. But like,
right? Like, but what?
If they
tell us.
if they turned off the fossil fuel industry today, we wouldn't be able to drive or turn on lights or.
We need to just start finding alternative fuel sources.
But that's why like Trump is constantly making fun of windmills because it's a threat to fossil fuel industry.
Yeah,
so we're trying
birds.
to find alternative sources, but they're just bullying them and like making fun of them and saying they're gay.
Yes, exactly.
Because a
Okay.
windmill sounds gay as hell. Like it's
Windmills
like
gay.
it's
And then
like,
honestly,
we're not Dutch.
yeah,
You know what that means.
We're not playing putt-putt. Yeah.
I saw Twisters recently, and man, the windmills really took a beating in that movie.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, you know what? Maybe these aren't good.
Okay.
I mean, solar energy, I think, is kind of probably the future. Like, there's like that solar farm as you're driving to Vegas that's like so big that could like power Vegas for a month every day. Like, it generates enough.
I talked to the
Wow.
person who was an engineer on that very solar farm, and I asked the question: if you ever drove from L.A. to Vegas, you're gonna driving through the desert, and you're gonna see two towers that are glowing like the eye of Sauron in the distance, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then around it are all these things that look like solar panels.
Yeah.
And what I learned is that the fuel source is not what's on the ground. Those are not solar panels.
They're
Sean.
not the solar farm. Those aren't solar panels. What are they?
They're mirrors, and the fuel source is the eye of Sauron. The sun is going down onto the mirrors, and the mirrors are all reflecting up to the eye. And that's where the power is.
Oh, that's
Where's
really
the
cool.
eye? What's
My
the
God,
eye?
that's awesome.
Oh my God, is right.
Yeah.
Wow, that just like drained you of all your
I mean,
power.
yeah, I'm done.
You just look deflated after that. You're not gonna be scrambling anytime soon after that sentence.
But let's get back to what you were talking about. That
I don't
anyone-
even-
No one gives a shit about what
Oh,
we're
the
saying.
promos. Oh, some
This
of them
isn't
are
an episode
so
of-
funny. They're like some of them are just like misses, but some of them I was watching yesterday are really funny, and I'm excited because they're like really weird. Like the Jeff Bridges one.
Oh yeah.
There was there was some that I was like really proud of, and then others I said you have to kill that. That makes no sense. There was one where I'm like they wanted to have us do something about how like the Golden Globes are like a party night and like it's off the rails and people are drinking, but like this is a lesson in comedy. Everyone listening, like so that's the premise, right? Like we want a joke that talks about how everyone's partying, and it's like I think the line was like it'll be a night. It'll be a night you remember forever, except any of the celebrities in the audience, because they're going to be blackout because they'll be blackout. So, but that doesn't work because I have to establish that people are drinking first.
Yeah.
Like just coming out hot to an audience at CBS who are watching like Matlock, and then all of a sudden I'm like, and everyone's going to be blackout. They're going to be like, what is? I mean, I guess it'll get eyes on it, but it doesn't make any sense contextually. Like,
It's a joke in reverse.
yeah, like I need to set up the fact that people are drinking, and so and the problem is I'm like writing in like this needs a setup, and they're like, yeah, why didn't you write it? Like, that's not on us, bitch. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point.
That same time you took writing, this needs a setup. You could have wrote it.
Yeah, well, I can't shoot it. Like, it's not. There's nowhere in the edited footage that it's like exists. So
There should be at least 3 pickup days for all promo shoots, so we
It's-
can figure out.
promos are just a humiliating thing. Like I think when they first started coming in, I was like, these are embarrassing, and then you guys all reminded me like, no one's ever looked cool in a promo ever.
Yeah.
ever.
They're awful.
There's a reason why they stopped doing promos for like that stretch where like they would do the lower third promo.
When
for,
people
like,
would walk on and go, hey, and point to the like Thursday night
God.
at 9,
Because
8,
it's
7.
like this is just as embarrassing as having you talk to camera.
Yes,
like
yes.
young
Yeah.
Sheldon post.
leaning up against the CBS logo. Oh my God, you're so right.
But I've been enjoying watching CBS football games that are on CBS, and
Yeah.
then you pop up probably like 2 or 3 times a day on when you're watching football. And I haven't seen any of the quote unquote funny promos yet. It's always just like Nikki Glaser hosts the Golden Globes on January 5th, and then it's just you like going.
All right, well, I'll take that over something confusing, I guess.
I just want the Nicole Kidman one to air because I feel like that one is going to go down in history as
What is that one?
I wonder if they'll even air it.
It's
and if
so
someone
funny.
if someone sees it, will you please record it and send it to us? Because that's the thing, like no one, I've said this before, when you have stuff that airs, like no one in your life records it or tells you about it because they know it's airing. And I'm like, no, I don't know when I'm on TV. Record it for me. Send it to me on Instagram.
Please tell us, because if they don't air that, we could use that in the show.
Yeah, okay, so if you see the Nicole Kidman comment about her at the Golden Globes,
Yes,
we're not going to
yes.
give it away.
Well, we can say that it's a seating one, right? Is that what it was from?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's about me talking about the seating arrangement
Yeah,
at the
so-
show. I don't even think it made the cut.
Oh man,
Do you remember? Did it?
It was in the cut.
It was
that we saw after
Okay.
before Black Friday.
I think I talked about before. There was one joke in there that would have made me lose the show if it aired. Because
it's so hard. It
Yeah.
is so. It's the most aggressive joke.
Wait, can I just whisper to Andrew? Okay, it was it was me. It was about me roasting. Am I gonna roast or am I gonna toast? No, I shouldn't roast people. I'm gonna toast, and it's here's to blah blah blah, and then I would roast, but it sounds like I'm being nice.
Yeah.
But it was here's to Ben Affleck. I can't wait to see what Jennifer you ruined.
Oh yeah.
It's too harsh.
Yeah, I mean,
There's a
great.
word in there that's
Yeah.
But that would be maybe good also to there's a lot of jokes we wrote for that were oh,
I like that one.
That joke's very funny, and I feel like that would work in the show, but in a promo that's airing during FBI Los Angeles. It's
Yeah, well, not even. But I think the problem is that it says it. People would misconstrue it, and I know this is annoying to the listener who's well, we don't know what you're talking about. It implies it has a man who's dated famous women, and then it's talking about how he's kind of been not great to these women. That's the gist of the joke, is it's talking about that, and it sounds a little bit like I'm throwing the women under the bus.
Right.
But if you're not listening closely, I'm absolutely not.
It also empowers the man to have the ability to defile something. And the woman should have control over whether or not she's been defiled.
Right, but it's just a joke.
It's a great joke.
It's just a joke.
did it
It's a
remind you of?
hilarious joke.
Well, no,
you know what?
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead, Andrew.
No, don't worry.
You know what you should do? By the way, I love
Third
that
time's a
hat.
charm.
Oh, thanks. Yeah,
You know what? Go ahead, Andrew. You know what you should do, though? You should try it.
I don't know if they were solar panels. I don't.
You should try it on stage and see what happens.
Right.
Because we don't
No,
know
it'll
if
do
it's
well
funny
on
or not.
stage.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know. What if it bombs?
Well, none of those three people are going to be in the audience.
Oh, then
okay.
that's yeah.
Yeah,
who cares?
then who cares?
I think still just try it on stage once and let's see.
Yeah.
I do like that hat a lot. It's a great height. I want to get a Colts hat that's like that.
Maybe you could do it on Kimmel. Maybe talk about that might be a place for it. Because
Sure.
if I'm commenting on the fact that it's a crazy joke and then I tell the joke, it's in I'm so glad I got this pulled from or something like that.
Wow,
it could
this
be
is
an
interesting because the people listening to this will have seen Kimmel last night.
and so they know
Yeah.
possibly, but I doubt I will. I don't know. We'll see.
I say save it for Stern.
Oh yeah.
he'll-
That's the best one.
He'll love it.
Yeah, I'm doing Howard Stern the day after the Golden Globes, the morning after, so I will
Nice.
not have slept the night
Or
before.
do it on here the day after.
Oh yeah, I could do that too. I'm also doing this podcast the day
Yeah,
after as
your
well.
own
Those are my
podcast.
only two things that I'm doing.
It reminds
the
me
week
of
after.
there was a joke about James Cameron a few years
Oh.
back that is
Yeah.
the same vein, and everyone loved it. Everyone was like, I mean, it was a shocker.
What award show was it? Do you remember? Was it? It wasn't the
Oh, it
Golden
was
Globe.
about
I think
how
it's Tina and Amy.
The woman got away from him, was in a relationship for 3 years, and
Yeah,
Yeah.
how annoying
Yes.
it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Catherine
recall
Bigelow.
this now. Now that you say that.
Yeah.
it's a similar vein. And that joke was great. I don't know. It did get a but I don't know if
Yeah.
that's such a bad thing.
No.
I feel like with James Cameron, that was on the show. It wasn't a promo.
She was there.
And he was there.
I don't know if he was there.
I haven't been following the controversy surrounding Zero Dark 30, but when it comes to torture, I trust the woman who spent 3 years married to James Cameron.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was good.
I mean,
Yeah.
Great joke. Great
It's
joke.
great joke.
Yeah.
And
That
also,
was Tina
I
Fey,
wrote
I
it,
think.
actually.
Tina and Amy, yeah.
Yeah. But James Cameron isn't isn't struggling with mental health and addiction.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the punchline of our joke is
Yeah.
a guy who's very publicly.
Yeah,
But James Cameron is probably just a psychopath. He's probably just has some kind of personality disorder that we can have sympathy
He
for.
spends 6 months of the year underwater. He's trying to find new octopi.
You know what? People that are I was watching a clip on Kimmel last night. It was Jeremy Strong was on last night talking about how he takes things seriously. But he was Kimmel set him up to tell a story, and then he just started talking about someone who did the granddaughter of Julius and Ethel Rosenberg, who were executed unfairly, did a documentary about Roy Cohn, who he plays. And Roy Cohn was the guy who sent her grandparents to the electric chair. And she did a really empathetic documentary about them, even though they obviously killed her grandparents. But she was able to see him as a complex character and hold him to task, but also have empathy. And he said, and it made me realize, what I do, I take very seriously, because the people, there are people on the other end of it watching it in theaters and watching it at home. And I take them very seriously. And I've been accused of taking things very seriously, but I do take them seriously. And he just stuck it I'm sorry, this is just who I am. And I just love it. I can't even make fun of it. I love it so much. And so I commented, I take Jeremy Strong taking things seriously, very seriously, because I do. And now I'm on board. And the still image that they used, like when you see a reel and it's locked on an image, it's of him kind of smirking, and you watch the whole clip, and it was a millisecond that they found of his lip going up to look like he was having a good time, or they found the only it was a flash. You know how people have flashes of emotions? They found the millisecond. It was really funny.
I think people love making fun of him because they themselves wish they could take what they do seriously.
Yeah.
Seeing somebody work really hard on something that you find frivolous is you're have some shame.
Yes,
that's how I feel when someone does a puzzle.
Yeah.
I'm what are you doing?
Oh, puzzles
really?
Confound me.
Yeah, I'm not a puzzle person.
I'm not. It seems like a real I'm was that earning you anything in this world? And puzzles don't, to me, mean I'm a 3, so they don't prove you're intelligent in any way.
What if you glued it together and framed it and then put it up on the wall?
Then I'm guessing COVID had just happened again or something. What? Why would I ever do it? But sometimes I'm with people that want to do puzzles, and I have anxiety over it because it's so boring.
Yes, I don't like self-satisfaction. I like external validation.
That's
so
right.
a puzzle, if you
That's
did a puzzle
masturbating.
and waiting for somebody to say, "Great job, you did it,"
right?
That's not going to happen. It's not going to feel
totally
right. I need to create something that people are "That's really great."
Well,
and
I have
I'm
a perfect example of
person.
this. There's a thing on the New York Times crossword app that's a mini daily crossword, and it's just it's a mini one. It could take under a minute. It could take under 15 seconds if you're super good at it. And I never was interested in doing it, because why would you do it just so you can be I'm fast? But then they created this thing called leaderboard, and you can invite your friends, and then you compete every day against your friends. I am so competitive. Before I even pull it up, I take a deep breath, because you can't have one typo.
No.
I'm against Anya's sister is changed our game, because I am against my sister, Emily, Anya, Chris. I forget who else is on it, but send me a request if you want to compete with me on it, even though I don't think you can, because you have to have my number. But Anya's sister is so good that I'm almost is she cheating? How could this be? But she's just so fast, and it's changed my life. It's made me I'm so into it every day. I wouldn't care at all unless it was competitive at all.
Yeah.
I got 27 seconds on Tuesday. And
You're on? Oh my God.
And
No, Sean.
And I brought it up to my wife when I got home last night, being did you do the mini? I got it in 27 seconds.
Yeah.
Come on.
I want to look up my time. I'm already competitive with you.
I have a complaint. About this. I had the New York Times Crossword Games app, and I was paying for it, and I was oh, I love this. And then New York Times advertised to me that you can buy the New York Times app, which includes the newspaper and games.
Right. Oh.
And then what
sorry,
happened?
I just opened the crossword and the time started.
Oh,
Go.
You just lost seconds.
No. I can't.
You're just burned.
Oh my
You're never
God.
gonna catch up.
That
to
was so scary.
Anya's sister now.
Oh, Tuesday I bombed. You had 27 seconds on Tuesday?
As soon as there was a lot of X's.
You beat the girl you beat Maya, Anya's sister, who got 48
proud.
seconds.
I'm beaming right now.
I got 1 minute and 38 seconds.
Whoa.
Chris got 2:21, and he's really fast. That's amazing, Sean.
Yeah, but I struggle every other day. For some reason, I was locked in.
It's so fun. I really recommend people get the mini, but and it's free, I think. Wait, so you got this app, and so now
they
it's
advertised to me the New York Times app, which is a separate app that you can buy, and then you get like the newspaper. You get access to the newspaper.
Sure, I have that one too. Yeah.
Right. So, but it also said you get access to the games and the crossword puzzles. And so I canceled my crossword puzzle New York Times app, and I just kept this one. I'm like, why would I have both? And then I see that in the New York Times app, you can only play the crossword from that day. So if you miss it, you can't go back to like Mondays where you can actually finish it. And so I was like, this is bullshit. So now I'm going to cancel my New York Times app, just so you know. If you're going to download that and pay for it, you're not getting the full catalog of crossword puzzles.
No, you need the catalog. Have you ever done September 11th one or September 12th? Like sometimes I go back to 2001 and I'm like, or big days of news things, and I'm like, someone like did the crossword the day after September 11th? And like, are there any clues that have anything in it? It's really fun to go back in time.
Wow.
I mean, there was probably somebody like sitting at their desk doing that exact.
There was no computers either to do it. It's not like you get
100%. I would think at least
like
50 people.
Like my brain doesn't turn on till 10.
Yeah, and they didn't have smartphones back then. That all they had was crossword puzzles.
Yeah, like pen in their mouth, like thinking.
Oh no!
What was that?
What's
pencil.
that?
You gotta use pencil.
What's that thing coming at the window? Oh, that's flying low. Oh god.
Can I get a 5-letter word for about to die? thing that's about to kill us?
Plane.
Yeah, plane.
It's got to be annoying though with the Jeremy Strong guy to sit there like all day in the trailer and because you're only acting for an hour of the 15 hours.
And he has to be Roy Cohn inside a trailer.
And you're like sitting next to him and you're like, so how about the Jets today or whatever? And he's just like, and
I would have so much fun with it. I'd be like,
yeah.
But
I can see why Brian Cox was the one that got annoyed, right? Because he's been acting for 100 years, and he's like, okay, it's not that serious.
Well, British people, like, they go to school, and they're like, you act, and it's a job. And, like, here, like, method acting is such an American thing where it's like, you have to, like, live the part, and it's so foreign to them being like, you just go and do it, and then you leave and go home and have like a nice cottage. And Jeremy Strong is like, no, I'm living as a gay lawyer in 1973.
You're
That's
right.
why method actors go nuts. That's why Daniel Day-Lewis retired, even though he's the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah.
He was method, and he's just like, I can't do this. I can't just do this every day of my life to become someone else.
It's so weird, too, because like when you watch like Robert De Niro on a talk show, he's like just a husk of a person because like he, like he puts everything into the character, but then he has like nothing to talk about because he has not lived a life.
He just has strong opinions about Kamala.
And he loves Trump. He hates Trump so much.
Oh, so much.
That he turns everything to a Trump. Like,
he really does.
At the beginning of
like
Megalopolis, there was a talk about what this movie is, and Robert De Niro's one quote is, Donald Trump could never make Megalopolis.
What?
Something must have happened in New York City with them two at like a bar.
They were at a fish restaurant.
And Trump like big timed him or fucked his wife or something. I don't know.
I just want to say, Donald Trump could absolutely make Megalopolis.
That is true. That is true.
Did you saw it, right?
Oh, I saw it.
Wait, I watched Emilia. We probably have to go to break, right?
Oh my God, I stopped paying attention.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We'll go to break. I'll tell you what I watched last night after
it's
this.
It's time for a break.
Yeah, 7 minutes ago. Okay, we'll be back after this. Last night I watched half of Emilia Pérez. So
2 hours.
No, it was so long. It's
a musical, so they're allowed to be a little longer, I guess.
I cannot believe this movie. And I'm guessing 99% of our listeners have no idea what I'm talking about. Have you heard of it?
I started it. I can't read that much, and it's all Spanish. There's no English.
No, there's some English. It gets English.
Oh,
yeah,
penis.
It gets English.
Yeah,
they say penis
That's
in
a new
English.
campaign I'm doing.
If it gets English
for people struggling to
let
watch
me
foreign
know
films.
when that starts.
It's interesting because when they go to China, the Chinese doctor speaks in English.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
where you draw the
here's
line.
my thing is that Chris and I were confounded because we're like, is this the way musicals are in Mexico? Like, because none of the songs really sound like songs. They're just talking like this, and then they talk like this. It says like doesn't ever break into like a chorus, or it just seems to all be verses.
This movie has nothing to do with Mexico. In fact, Mexicans
It's
hate
French,
this movie.
right?
Yeah, it's a French movie.
Oh, that explains everything.
And that is how French musicals are. Like, there's like
it explains everything.
like the Umbrellas of Schomburg and like the Young Girls of Rochefort, like
Whoa.
which are amazing.
It's even giving Amelie.
Yeah,
even though Amelie's not a musical.
Yeah, French movies always feel very French. Like the substance feels French.
I mean, that's as soon as you said that, I go, oh, that's the thing Chris and I could not put our finger on last night was it's French.
yeah.
Because it's
Sacre
okay.
bleu.
So if you don't know what it is, it's about a drug cartel mob boss guy in Mexico who hires a lawyer. Why, I don't know, because he wants to hire a lawyer, Zoe Saldana, he wants to become a woman, and he's transgendered, and he's he's like this really gruff, terrifying cartel leader, and he kidnaps her, and he's like, I want you to find me a doctor to perform the sex change or everything operation so I can be a woman, and then it happens, and then we see their lives like play out after that, and it's a musical also, and they break into song every single time they break into song. I forget it's a musical.
Yeah.
It's always jarring to me because they'll be talking like this, and then they'll go, but then this, and then they'll start, and I go, why are they talking like that? And I'm like, oh fuck, it's a musical.
Yeah, like when Zoe Saldana is interviewing one of the doctors.
That is so
and
bad.
then he starts singing.
He's not a singer.
Yeah, I always wanted Zoe to be like, why are you talking like that?
Yes. Because what is this thing about like, let's just put, lady. Like, actually, I really ended up liking the doctor because it seemed like
He's
a
a good
choice that he's
guy.
not a good singer.
Yeah, he
But
chose
why
that.
does every woman in a musical have to be a good singer, but every man can just be shit?
Wicked did that too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
I'm kind of tired of this. Like, the women have to be these operatic superstars,
Yeah.
and then the men can literally be bad singers.
They're just thankful that the men agreed to be in a musical.
But no, I mean, like, even like La La Land, like Ryan Gosling is bad, and Emma Stone is like, she's got like the voice of an angel.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't get it. And also, when are we going to see Marie Callas, Angelina Jolie singing opera? I'm dying to see this. Why is everyone a good singer? How is everyone? I'm serious. Singing is really hard. Like, we need to give credit to actors who are suddenly good singers, and we didn't know about it, because that shit's fucking hard.
I mean,
and
a
I
lot
can't
of people
wait to see Angelina
who
Jolie
did
sing.
acting growing up also took singing.
Yes,
lessons.
that makes
Theater,
sense to me.
Because you never know, you might become either an actor, a serious actor, or you might become a musical person. You have
Right,
to
you
train
gotta
for all.
like kind of okay. That makes sense.
But also, I can't explain why it was a lawyer that he chose, because he needed an executor for the estate because he was going to provide a trust to his children after he disappeared.
Okay, well, then riddle me this. Why, sorry to everyone listening that hasn't seen this, but you will also be confused by this. Why did Selena Gomez straight up move in with this aunt when she has no idea? Like, how did that happen where Zoe Saldana is just like, you're moving in with the aunt, and like Selena Gomez just has to?
I didn't get that far, so I don't know.
Oh, damn.
I'm only
it.
30 minutes in.
Did you
Yeah, I haven't
It's
even
pretty hard to
started.
finish.
Didn't you try watching it in your car when you were driving and almost died?
No, that was me.
That was you. Okay.
I was like, I started watching it in my car to save time because I had a 30-minute drive.
Sure.
And not that I'm going to be like paying attention to it, but
Yeah,
I didn't
we
realize that it
all
was a
know.
subtitles movie. I was like, I can't even watch this
Yeah.
at all.
watching that movie while driving?
Impossible. Even in a hands-free car, it's impossible.
Yeah.
If you got into a car accident, the cop would pick up your phone and be like, he killed himself.
I just can't believe this got made and like anyone signed on for it. It's just like it is. I'm compelled by it. I like it, but I'm just confused how things get made.
Well, I mean, never mind. Definitely not going
It
to say
does
that.
feel like now.
We know what you're gonna say.
Now everything's coming from like international funding, so you
Got
have
it.
that, and like France is like whatever is the most artistic, let's do it. Mm-hmm. And then like
It does feel like the opening ceremony of movies.
yeah,
Like the Paris opening ceremony.
Yes.
That everyone's just like, what's happening? Why are there jugglers on a boat in the Seine with Celine? Yeah, that was.
but also it feels like for a movie to stand out now, it has to be fucking batshit insane.
Right.
To like I mean like the
Or a
substance
sequel.
is
Stand
doing
out?
it, like Yeah, like for like a small movie that like based on reading the premise, you're like, I'm never going to watch that.
Right.
Like
But the conclave, they're picking a new pope. That's very simple.
Yeah.
And that good luck getting through that movie and it's a great movie. I loved it, but you will fall asleep because you're in a Catholic church the whole time and it's dark. You're sequestered with a bunch of popes. And it's low tones, really dark. I kind of I'm like into the Catholic Church now because of this movie. Like I think it's good propaganda for them because I love Ralph Fiennes.
Yeah, Ralph Fiennes is the greatest actor. Like he's just so good,
amazing. And by the way, if you're confused, maybe he ends up being evil in it. I don't know because I haven't seen the last 15 minutes. But so if you're like, why do you love him?
We have to watch so many movies. It's like we can't have time to finish them.
I can't finish anything. But I did Challengers. I loved.
Yeah, Challengers was good.
It was a fun romp. It kept me going.
Remember the movie Whiplash?
Yeah.
Challengers is Whiplash for women.
I never saw Whiplash, but I know that
I loved Whiplash. I love Challengers as well, but Whiplash.
Who's in it? J.K. Simmons?
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller.
And a drum kit.
Yeah. Similar ending.
Oh, the ending of Whiplash.
In fact, similar overall.
They hug.
Overall plot.
No, it truly feels like the feeling I got from that. I got goosebumps, but it felt like you come. Like, and it just
feels like you come.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. You know what I love in a movie more than anything that I was realizing when I was reading about, I think it was reading Anthony Jeselnik's like some kind of piece on him because he likes dark stuff, and I'm like, yeah, like I think I like that kind of stuff too. But it was, I love movies that don't have happy endings. The first time it started happening in my childhood that I'm seeing movies that didn't like Titanic. Yeah. Titanic blew my mind that they don't get to be together. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It was like I loved it because it felt so real and it felt like it just stuck with me. I love a movie that doesn't resolve the way you want it to. I hate going to movies. That's why I loved Wicked because I was like looking at I wasn't really looking at my watch the whole time because I don't wear a watch. Who does? But I wasn't checking the time that much. But I liked that there was a part 2 coming because all the things that seemed unresolved, I wasn't like, okay, so they got to make up again, and then we got to see them fight. Like anytime a rom-com, you're like, okay, they're happy. Wait, so I got to see them fight, and then I'm going to see them make up. Like let's just skip. I don't. Nothing interesting ever happens. It's always the same formula. I hate when you know what you have to get through to get to the end.
Yes, I kind of want either no resolution or just like a downer ending.
Lost in translation.
Yeah, like I love. My favorite feeling after a movie is having to go outside to like smoke a cigarette and like process what I just watched. Like I want movies to make me feel bad.
That's how I felt after Birdman.
Yes. Oh, Birdman.
I was like, I left the theater like, what the fuck?
I mean, like.
Bronx Tale, I felt that.
The Safdie brothers.
Romeo and Juliet. Oh my God. I did because I was too young to have known like what really happened in that play at the time. But when she when she shoots herself, oh my God, it's so good.
God, I love the Leo Claire Danes.
I think it's one of the best movies ever. Like maybe I was so young and naive, but it was so good. The way she sobs when he's dead. Like her ugly sob is one of the best ever.
It like looks awesome.
It's
just
awesome.
like looks like you're in like this heat wave like in Florida.
Yes.
And like everything's yellow tinted.
Yeah, things are
Jamie Kennedy's cool in it.
Yeah.
He's amazing. What the hell?
Man, The Little Mermaid, when Ursula loses, it's so sad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just like, I like...
A movie I gotta recommend, you must have seen this movie, is Sicario. Have you ever seen that? I bet you Chris loves Sicario.
Really?
I guarantee you, go to Chris and say, what do you think of Sicario?
Sicario?
Yes.
I'll ask him right now.
So Sicario is a great movie that kind of, I don't want to say what happens at all, but it subverts expectations, and that's why it's a brilliant movie. And then Sicario 2, Day of the Soledad, does the exact opposite and is not a good movie.
Yeah, I really did not like that one.
Who's
I love
in Sicario?
Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt's the lead, and Benicio del Toro.
Okay.
Yeah.
I loved Anora. Anora really made me feel like it was like a punch in the gut.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I saw it in theater. It was great.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And it's really funny, too.
It's great
the
comedy.
bad guys, when they would get hurt and they felt human.
Oh,
yeah.
It made it so fucking comical, and you're not expecting the comedy.
God, and some of the
so
subtitle of it, when they're speaking Armenian, where it's like, God, America sucks. I want to move back to Armenia. It's like,
Yeah.
like, I love it.
I can't wait to see that.
And
you'll love
I'm glad
that.
I've lived in LA because I really related to the Armenians.
Yeah.
I never knew any Armenians in New York, but when I moved to LA, every single doctor or dentist that I have is Armenian. And then when I was in Glendale, everybody that went to the gym was Armenian. I just feel like I intimately know Armenians now.
Yes, I'm
That's why it's important to be multicultural, to like you have empathy when you're around people, even if you think, oh, I would empathize even if I don't know them. When you know people, it makes it easier to, for some reason.
The people from my small town in New Jersey do not empathize with anyone that isn't like white, working class, Irish, and Italian.
same.
Yeah.
And like, I think like, I'm like a mini United Nations in my phone book.
Oh, I just got a call from Roseanne's podcast booker. So that's happening.
Okay. Wait, she called you? I thought it was supposed
Yes.
to be you contacting her.
I think it was supposed to be. I told her don't expect me to respond until after the Golden
Right, because
Globes.
you're really busy right now. You said next year.
She wanted to get into this morning.
Roseanne cannot wait.
Roseanne, Roseanne, was, oh my God, during my set, it was the first time I ever met Roseanne, and she comes up to me from behind and sees like the detail on my jacket and goes, I want this. I want to do this. Did you do this? And I'm like, no, I am not crafty. She goes, and she sends her to a friend. She goes, I want this. And I was like, oh, you should do it. It would look awesome on your jacket. And Roseanne looks good.
She looks good. Like, and I like, it was very interesting to see Roseanne in.
She's an icon. No matter what's going on with her today, she's one of the
just a little
greatest.
daffy.
And she's really nice.
Daffy, yeah.
She introduced herself to me, and she had no reason
That's so
to.
nice.
She said, "Are you going up?"
Oh,
and I said,
yeah.
"No."
She's so cute.
Yeah, no, Roseanne was cool. I saw her like smoking a bone outside.
Really?
Smoking a
She
cigarette.
still smokes?
Yeah, and like
for her.
she was smoking. Like she had the vibe of somebody who like owns a casino floor.
Yeah.
But it's falling apart.
Yeah, like this rocks. Like,
And I heard her laughing during my set very loudly, like
Yeah.
distractingly loud.
She was having a
loudly.
good
I
time.
think people in Glendale heard her laughing.
She's having a good time. It must be interesting being Roseanne. Like being Roseanne is like being like Shaq or something. Where just everywhere you go, every single person is like, is that you're constantly being pointed at? Probably.
Yes.
It's like a
Yes.
different level than like Nikki. It's like we walk into a room and every single person is like, oh my God, that's blah blah blah. And there's like they're not even a person anymore. At
I
some
always
point.
think that I was watching Jennifer Lawrence through the curtain at that women's event I did last week. Like, because I was backstage waiting for everyone to sit down, which they would not fucking sit down. Like, all these women at this luncheon. I had to, like, go out and open the show, and they keep telling them, please take your seats. It will be beginning soon. It's a half hour after it's supposed to start. No one's hearing the voice. And then the voice starts getting like, please take your seats. And then they just start playing the music and going, Nikki Glaser, everyone. And I walk out, and I'm like, no, I'm not walking out. It's, first of all, they didn't dim the lights, and everyone's still standing.
Yeah.
Like, literally, and Nicole Kidman, Jennifer Lawrence, and Anna Kendrick are all taking pictures right in front of the podium, standing up and having a conversation when I'm supposed to say my opening line.
Yeah.
I was
did
so
you go
annoyed.
out?
Yes, because it said, welcome Nikki Glaser. And it was like, oh, God.
You should watch. John Mulaney had to do the same thing. I forgot what the awards was. It the DGA or something?
Yeah, I remember it was last year.
He came out and he had to tell people to sit down for like a good 3 minutes, and that's
sure
all
it
on
was
tape.
Hilarious.
He did do it in a funny way. I forgot what he
I
did
just
exactly.
can't be funny when I'm angry.
We haven't talked about this on the podcast yet, have we?
Maybe not. Yeah.
What did you do?
It was called the Hollywood Reporters Power 100 Women's Breakfast Luncheon. Breakfast Gala. And the Search for Curly's Gold Part 1. That was my joke. It was like the longest thing, and it was at 8 a.m.
God, that's the biggest crime of
I'm not
all.
even kidding you. I think I would have turned it down had I known that was the time. Like, when you agree to a gala and it says breakfast, you assume maybe 11
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was being there at 8 and then openings. Then they ask, so they tell you you're you're a part of the 100
So you are
list.
one of the 100.
Yes, that's the first thing I got, and I go, oh, very cool, great, that'll be a cool event to go to. They're like, it's a big press event, lots of famous people, great, I'm so honored. Then a week before, because they definitely asked Chris Convey, who produces things, confirmed that they definitely went out to other people and it got turned down. So then they finally went to you and asked if you would do the opening remarks. Chelsea Handler had done it. Will Ferrell had done it for some reason. Who else had done it?
He's not a woman.
Yeah, it's Molly Shannon did it. And so they sent
Has
me all
done
these
opening remarks before.
Yeah, and so they sent me all their monologues. They go, you need to do 10 minutes or 2 minutes. And I looked and everyone's done like 8 to 11 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God. And then I wait till Bob and Sean helped me write it. And it's, we're bogged down with Golden Globe stuff and like everything else. And so it was just waited till the last night to really start working on it. And it was like 8 o'clock at night, and then I also had to go do 4
We were
sets
at
that
sets
night.
doing Golden Globe stuff.
You helped as well, yeah. You
I didn't
weighed in
help
on-
with that, but
no, you were weighing in on it.
I was around, but we were doing Golden Globe stuff, and then you
I
guys
was also
were working.
like, guys, I got to work on this
Yeah,
speech I have to
yeah.
give in 4 hours, and then because I have to read the prompter at 7, I had to be there at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Is that where it
Yeah.
was? At 7 to run prompter.
Great hotel.
Which means I have to be in hair and makeup at 4:30. And I went to bed, I think, at 3 after staying up after the sets all
Yeah.
night to like work on the monologue. And then I'm in hair and makeup with my laptop working on it. And it ended up being good, but it was just like, you get there. At my table was Pam Anderson, Julia Fox, Anna Kendrick, Kathy Bates. Kathy Bates and Emily was my +1, Gen ZM.
Cool.
And she told me afterwards that, and Gen ZM got
That's
hit
so
on by one of
cool.
the waiters at 7 in the
Whoa.
morning.
Nice.
And we got
How?
her
What
not-
happened?
He was like a very friendly guy, and he wasn't bad looking.
Yeah.
But she was like, that waiter just asked for my number. I was like,
No.
do it. She was like, no. But then I realized he was just, his energy was
He's
off.
a waiter at the Beverly Hills Hotel.
Yeah,
Next stop,
girl.
sitcom.
Yeah. I gave the opening remarks. It went well, but it felt to me like a C- because it just felt like I stumbled over some of the lines. Even though I rehearsed it a million times and instead of getting a picture with Jennifer Lawrence, I'm back reading the prompter. Like I could have mingled. Like
And
I didn't
you're
get
friends with
I didn't get
Jennifer
any
Lawrence.
like pictures with famous people. I'm like, because I did opening remarks, I didn't get to have any of like the glitz and glamour of it. I mean, I did the red carpet, but I was like, I missed out on some stuff. But anyway, and then after I give the speech, I was like, it's this weird thing when you have to like open something and then you have to hang out. Like if I'm doing meet and greets, I like to do them before the show in case I bomb. I don't have to like see anyone. I don't want to like sit down after I do something and have people have to like tell me good job when I didn't do a good job. And so I felt like I bombed, but Anna Kendrick was next to me and was like, how does it feel to have just killed in this room? And I was like, really? Like she's just being nice. And then and I'm sitting there just like wanting to shove all the avocado toast at the table down my throat because I'm just like nervous and like anxious and I'm like, I want to binge. And no one's eating their avocado toast. It's crazy. No one's touching it, any of it. It's the biggest waste of avocado toast in the history of avocados. It was
Wow.
crazy.
Even avocado toast? You'd think that would be something.
It's just an awkward thing to eat because you have to pick up the
Oh,
whole thing and be
yeah.
like, I love food. Or you have to like cut it with a knife and then you're like the woman cutting avocado toast with
yeah,
a
that's
knife
true.
and fork.
You gotta be. Everyone's taking pictures of you. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Avocado's messy too.
And people are crying
wide.
about women leadership and representation and ethnicity in film, and you're like, like it's just like it's not the vibe. Everyone's quiet, and then there's applause. But when it's applause, you have to stand up and applaud. You can't be eating the toast. So anytime there's a loud moment, you can't even eat. So anyway, but I'm like kind of like, I kind of just bombed. Like not bombed, but I just like it wasn't what I wanted it to be, and I'm not really paying attention. I'm kind of just like trying to text on my phone to Chris, like, that was really awkward. I just want to get out of here. Like, I feel so embarrassed. And the woman that's like runs the event or is like, she kind of looks at me and smiles. And I'm like, oh, does she like me? Like, I was trying not to make eye contact with her. She was like an older woman that I'm like, she probably like is disgusted that I said anal bleaching like at her lunch, at her brunch.
At 8 a.m.
She kind of like smiled at me and I'm like, oh, maybe she doesn't hate me. Like, or maybe that was a sympathy. But then, first of all, Julia Fox is at her table. I did see this. She is filming everyone that gets up to speak, like a proud mom, like holding the phone, like, and like zooming in and like so excited and just like perfect, posture and just cheering everyone on. It was really, really cute. She was adorable. And I got to meet her beforehand and got to tell her how much she means to me. I think I love her. She's, I think, very inspiring to someone who's just like being them. She's very, very Jeremy Strong.
The world
herself.
needs Julia Foxes.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
you need somebody
More, please.
Who are like, it's like she kind of has her hand in every little pot, but like she doesn't have like a thing. She's just Julia Fox.
Yes, and she's just like, I feel like she's there's a lot of effort going in terms of fashion and like her appearance, and I guess, but it's like it also is like she's doing it for her.
Yeah.
Like she even said she bleached her eyebrows because she realized it was the one thing men like are disgusted by when they see a woman without eyebrows. So she did it on purpose to have men be like repulsed by her, and I kind of loved
That's
that.
strong.
Yeah.
Because she's just been hurt too many times or whatever it was. But she was like, I just make and then she realized like being skinny is something that men desire. So she's like, I wanted to get fat because I just want, like, I mean, obviously, that's a probably trauma response, but I just kind of liked that whole, she's just like badass. Anyway, Emily was sitting between me and Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
And she's
Did
like,
Emily know who Kathy Bates was?
No, she said that woman.
That woman.
The woman that was sitting on so of course
she's
not.
Fucking Matlock, Emily?
Yeah, she was in
She is the new
Misery.
Matlock.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in misery at this table too. She couldn't believe it.
What was the result of this?
So then I got up.
Yeah.
So then the event ends after Nicole Kidman speaks, Selena Gomez speaks, Jennifer Lawrence speaks, and I got up and so many people came up to me and was like, that was incredible, like in a way that I couldn't deny that it was good. So I felt good that, because I was like, I want to beeline out of here. I don't want to talk to anyone. Like I'm so embarrassed. Like it wasn't that I didn't want to talk to anyone. I didn't want anyone to feel like they had to be nice to me. So I was kind of like walking with my head down, like, Emily, just follow behind quickly. And then people were stopping. Like Molly Sims came up to me and was like, that was insane. I'm obsessed with you. There were so many like I'm obsessed with you moments. Like that was amazing. You had me dying. And apparently I made Nicole Kidman laugh really hard. And,
Amazing.
And
Do we
someone
know
else.
what at?
I made a joke that I'm in the Hollywood 100, and I said, oh, what ranking am I? And they're like, it's not a ranking. You guys are all equal. And I go, oh, in that case, can I sit at Nicole Kidman's table? And that's when the correspondence ended. It was something like that. And she really loved that, even though I was right next to her table. And I got to, I think she did eat her avocado toast, which I thought was fucking badass.
This is an amazing honor. And also, it's really good because now you're going to have some really solid goodwill at the Golden Globes with the
It
people
was
in the room.
the right move.
Yeah.
Even though I wish I wouldn't have said yes to it because I didn't sleep for like 3 days and
Yeah.
I felt insane, and that meant I cried at a photo shoot later that day because I just like couldn't handle it anymore. I was just like, I can't, like I was just weakened. You know, when you like haven't slept, you're just insane. But in the end, it was good because now at the Golden Globes there will be
There'll
at
be a
least
smattering of people
50
all
people
throughout.
who know what I'm capable of and
Yes.
like are rooting for me and it'll be
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Nicole Kidman may laugh again.
And
She
handling
she'll
a cold
be
room
there.
like that. And you only had 2 minutes, so you didn't have time to.
And I did like
Deal with-
7.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
because you
Yeah.
end up
Like,
doing more.
The videos online, you crushed. Like it
That's
was
so
really
nice,
good. It
but-
was
Yeah, where
re-
can you find the video?
You just like Googled Nikki Glaser speech Hollywood Women's 100.
Yeah.
Oh, you Google all that and it comes up.
Yeah, THR is a good. Yeah,
it's like
Nikki Glaser speech.
YouTube.com/the Hollywood THR/
Yeah, you can find it if you really want it. You can find it.
But it's great. Like you did
All
such
right.
a great job, and
Thank you.
and I'm not just saying this because you said
Thank
Nicole
you
Kidman
for
laughed.
your help on it. Oh my God, I'm so grateful to because when we were at the Improv working on it, and I was about to go on stage and do Golden Globes jokes, but like didn't I say to you I want to die?
Yeah, you said right before you went on stage, you said, either I want to die or I want to kill myself. And
I think I said I want to die. It was
I don't
more
think
of
you
like I
heard
wanted
me.
something else.
And I don't think you heard me, but I was like, don't do it until January 6th.
I was really so tired, and I just saw the amount. Like it honestly was like, do you ever have nightmares that papers are due or tests are due or something? Like
Yeah.
it felt like a nightmare of like I have to get this thing done by the morning. I don't see how I'm just not. When I don't see sleep ahead of me, I start getting really angry and sad. But we got it done and it's over, and I can't wait for Kimmel to be over because I'm feeling that same thing
yeah,
of
there
like
you go.
I have a lot of work ahead of me today to figure out what I'm gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
but it'll all be okay. And then tomorrow I get to go to New Hampshire.
Amazing.
And honestly, I told Chris today, I was like, this weekend is like days off, even though I'm
Yeah, 'cause
traveling
it's
and
normal.
doing shows. It feels like completely like I have shows on the road
Yeah.
this weekend. I get to get out of this
Bunch of
town. And every
nobodies in New
expectation and
Hampshire.
every photo shoot and every glam sesh. It's going to be great.
We have to take a break.
Okay, we'll take a break. We'll come back after this. All right, final thought. Did you guys see that I was New York Times Comedian of the Year?
Yes.
That's
That's what that was? Of the year?
Of the
Yes.
year.
Whoa,
I
that's
didn't even
amazing.
know it was a thing. Because people keep saying I don't read things about me, so I just see the press. Emily's like, "Girl, slay, queen. Look what just came through."
Wait a second. At the
and
store
I
last
posted
night,
blindly.
At the store last night, one of the comedians said, "How does it feel to be comedian of the year?"
Yes, that's a
And
literal thing.
I thought they were just saying that because you really did like win the year.
No,
but
it's
they
a
meant
literal
literally.
New York Times Comedian of the Year, and I go
Whoa.
because I said to Emily this morning, I was like, I feel like we need to make a post about this because it's like I want to just. It's not even to be like, look what I am. I like the guy who wrote it like put a lot of effort into it, and it's like it is a big honor that I need to like acknowledge the people that gave it to me. And I go,
Yeah.
but where does it say Comedian of the Year? And she's like, right below your name. And I'm like, why is this even a I didn't even was this a thing?
I'm gonna look it up. I want to see who else was comedian of the year.
It must be.
Theo Vaughn. No, in the past?
Yeah,
oh,
in the
there's
past.
other people that are like kind of talked about this year as
that could have possibly been comedian of the year, but
they're
didn't
like
make
special
it.
mentions.
yeah,
and then
special
you are
mentions of the year.
Yeah, like.
Yeah.
Oh, so since I have the New York Times app that I pay for, I can see all of the history of New York.
Oh my God, amazing! Because I don't recall this being a thing that because I would have obviously been jealous of whoever had been crowned it before and thought,
Yeah,
oh,
last
it'll never
year,
be me. This is not
they have
fair.
a December 5th, 2023 best comedy. It seems like maybe Jim Gaffigan was comedian of the year in 23, but they just list him as best special. They don't say comedian of the year.
Yeah, I think this is a new thing.
Yeah, this is kind of the year. You're the first comedian of the year.
That's so nice, and it all immediately. I'm sad because I can't be next year. Does that ever hit anyone like that? Like I can't. Like I hate the day after my birthday. I hate the day after Christmas. Like I hate that it's like I don't like getting things because it means I can't get them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, my son just dealt with this like for the first time.
Really?
In choir class, he got star student, and then the next week I was like. He was like, I'm not going to be star student this week. And it's like,
It's
hey,
he's
man,
a
that's
three,
how it
dude.
works.
He's
yeah,
a
that's
three.
how it works. Like, sorry.
I
Like,
can't stand it. Like, and the thing is, I would never have dreamed of being comedian of the year. Like, in the years past, if I would have seen that, I would have been like, man, that just sucks that I'm just not talented enough to ever even be considered. Like, it wouldn't have even been a thought of mine that I could have it. Like, I'm not like, man, I want that to be me. It's just like, man, I wish I was born more talented that even could be considered that. That's what my thought would have been. There are some things that I look at and I go, why did they get that? I want that. I deserve that. But this title, I would have never thought. But it's very nice. But immediately I'm like, next year it's going to be someone else because it can't be me again. And what's the point of keeping trying?
And isn't this the beauty of just being alive is getting like honored, bestowed this honor of being the comedian of the year. And like, you can't truly enjoy it because you're just looking ahead.
But do other people feel this way about like when you find, let's say like, you know, one big pursuit in life is finding your forever person. So like after you get married, is there a little bit of like, I can't find my forever person again? Like I'll never get married again. I mean, like you
no,
could.
I mean, I didn't feel that. I just
Yeah,
felt
no.
relief.
yeah.
That it
Relief.
really-
Yeah, I'm like,
found
that's
that
one
person.
thing off the docket.
Yeah.
Like,
Interesting. I guess I do start now feel that way about Chris. Like, and I think before I was a little bit like scared of like I'll never have a crush on anyone again, or like
You can
not
still
that.
have crushes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, not one that I can act on because that's like,
Yeah.
that's what causes you to feel excitement. Is like, oh my God, our hands are touching. Wait, are we going to kiss later? Like, that's all the thing that,
Yeah.
like, and you kind of just close that chapter. But, like, I don't know. I think that it's not just me in this position of, like, this kind of award feeling that I think I feel this all the time of, like, oh, wait, I can't get that again.
You
Yeah.
could. I mean, you just got to top this year.
No, I have to go away. I have to be like canceled or something.
Yeah.
When I'm like 72, I can get that again. And then
I just did some very basic research, but it does seem like this was the first ever comedian of the year, which means that you were the first one to get it. And to quote LeBron James, who the Lakers last, you know what I'm going to say?
no,
You just heard LeBron James
and
and
I'm
you
like
nodded.
nodding
Yeah.
'cause I love LeBron.
yes.
So last year in the NBA, they did the first ever in-season tournament where they give out a trophy and then a lot of the players get money that don't normally get money, and even coaches. And the Lakers won. LeBron James is on the Lakers, and he said, records can be broken. Any of my records can be broken. There's only one thing that you can never break, and that's being first. And they were the first ones to win, and that'll never be taken away from
Whoa.
them. And you're the first one to ever
Okay,
win
I really
Comedian
like
of the
that.
Year.
That no one will ever be able to get that
No,
again.
you're the first.
Oh, that's good. I'm
is-
also the first solo woman to host the Golden Globes, which is, I think, really funny.
That's- yeah,
But,
the
like,
first
I'm
solo.
doing it alone. Like,
Yeah.
is she gonna be okay? I'm gonna talk about it on Kimmel tonight. I think
That
it's just
actually
so funny
might
to me.
be-
Like,
yeah.
why is that even an accomplishment? Like, it seems like something in like the 1928 that
Should
they
that be
first
an
let women host
interstitial?
things alone.
Yeah, well, think about the first woman to ever or fly across.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be eaten by coconut crabs. I think that's what happens to her. But yeah, I'm trying to think of like things.
Maybe you come out with a life preserver.
Or like I want to just come out with like my keys between my fingers, like like walking to your car alone. Like as a woman, like
Yes.
what do you do when
Yeah,
you're
like
a
a
woman
mace
alone?
and a
Maybe you have a
rape
cardboard
whistle.
cutout or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Maybe you're holding another woman.
there are times where I look at Tina and Amy's monologue and I'm like, man, it would be nice to have another person because there's that it's just a fun device to
But
have
who would
in
it
a
be?
monologue.
Who is Nikki's Amy to Tina? It would be Rachel Feinstein.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'm trying to think. I mean, I would take anyone. Jennifer Lawrence would be a really fun
Oh
one,
my
I think,
God,
because
you
she
kidding
is
me?
already like looked at as like a comedic
Right.
figure.
Yes.
I think that would be so fun.
Yes.
I would
So
feel like
maybe-
that would be harder to write for a two-prov or
Oh,
two-person
it would
thing.
be harder because
Yeah.
I would have to deal with her, dealing
Yeah.
with her team and what.
Yeah.
Like, I would just want to write it and be like, Jen, will you just
Yeah,
read
yeah,
these lines?
yeah,
I don't want to.
yeah.
I don't want to work with you on this. No, I would, but I think that would be an interesting.
Yeah.
But now that I'm doing it solo, I don't want.
What
I don't
about
know.
you and like James Franco? Would you do that?
I can't believe they did that one year.
It was fun that they met for the first time on stage.
Yeah, five.
All right, 5 minutes. Anything else to discuss?
Well, I'm gonna go to hypnotherapy tomorrow.
I know.
So stay
We're
tuned
so
to see if
excited
that
about
works.
this working.
I hope it works. My only hope.
What's it for?
For clenching at night.
Okay.
Everyone who talks to me about hypnotizing myself says that it worked for them or their friend or their aunt.
I've
Yeah.
never heard somebody say hypnosis didn't work on them. Like,
Yeah, that's a
but
really
but
good
I
point.
guess like so it seems like it has 100% success.
100%. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
It's
what I have to
definitely
believe.
going to work. And if it doesn't, just go to a different one.
Yeah. So my hypnotherapist, I am very hopeful, but they have an accent that is, I don't know if it's like Austrian or something, but for whatever reason, I feel like hypnotherapists should have like a soothing voice that gets you like sleepy, like a Sam Harris type or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
And this person's voice, it just like doesn't soothe me to my core, and I'm a little worried about that.
When I got hypnotized and did that, like she did that past life bullshit, and
Yeah.
she literally had a wheel spinning that I had to look at.
Yeah.
I just felt my struggle was like giving in to the like believing that this is a thing, and like you feel the struggle in your mind of like buy into it or be cynical of it.
Yeah.
And I kept trying not to be cynical, but then I felt stupid whenever I wouldn't be. But I think it was because this woman was so wacky, because I went in being like, I want this to work so bad, but I just couldn't let go because she was just, she just seemed so, she's digging through her purse.
Yeah.
She like can't get things going. She puts the wheel right in front of me and then she goes, that's too close. And then she's propping it up on
Oh, no
phone books. Like
confidence.
it was just, yeah. And so I
That's all
just couldn't let
important.
go.
That's working on your subconscious.
Yeah, and because I was like, I don't want to be defenseless with this woman.
Yeah, you didn't feel
Like,
comfortable.
I don't feel comfortable. Yeah.
I have to say, I had a consultation with this woman, and she was very comforting, and I do trust her. Just the voice, I'm like, I think my subconscious is going to reject it because it's like,
No, don't say that.
Yeah,
It's
I just
not-
want to say,
it's not gonna do.
when
No.
in history has an Austrian person done anything bad?
I don't know if she's Austrian, but she
What time tomorrow are you doing this?
actually, it's not tomorrow. Well, it is tomorrow if you're listening to this on
got it.
Thursday.
Friday. Yes, it's on Friday. That's what I thought.
But yeah, I mean, her name is very strange. I don't want to say it on the podcast just
Until
in case
it
she's not
works.
good.
Right.
But her name is very strange, and that to me makes me think that she might be good at this.
Wait, can I see her name?
Yeah, you're not even gonna know. I'm gonna show you my phone. It has a bunch of words on it.
Is
You're
there
not
like
even gonna
a-
know which of those words is her name.
Stop.
That's how strange
Really?
it
Is
is.
there like a Yelp kind of review? Like, are there reviews that you can see for her?
I'm looking at, okay, that is a crazy name.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to see.
It almost is
It
like
sounds like a prostate medicine.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
It
All
sounds
right.
like a sound that you would relax to.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what
It sounds like a mantra.
Yeah, that's my
Heard
mantra.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
or
yeah.
Fine,
whatever.
whatever
Yeah.
works. I'm a very impressionable person, but
Well, you
only-
gotta stop.
So you're
clenching.
grinding your teeth?
Well, this is the thing. I learned last night that perhaps because he gets really. Can I say that you get depressed if you?
Oh, of course. I mean-
he wears a mouth guard because he has to wear a mouth guard.
Oh.
And if he wears a mouth guard to stop the grinding, which the grinding causes insane pain for him, so he has to wear a mouth guard. But if he wears a mouth guard, he wakes up insanely depressed.
Oh.
I don't know
if
why.
anyone knows why this would be, and he thinks that maybe grinding your teeth is a thing that we do to release dopamine throughout
And
the
to
night.
lower cortisol.
And to lower cortisol. So when he's not grinding, he is insanely like wildly depths of depressed when he wakes up in a almost manic
It
state.
lasts all day, yeah, and it's all this. I have all the symptoms of low dopamine.
So he's either in extreme pain from grinding, or he's in extreme pain from low dopamine. So
Yeah.
he's
That's
has
why
to
I'm
stop
stuck.
grinding.
I have to stop. It's clenching, really. It's not even
Clenching.
the grinding.
So if anyone has any insight into that,
Yeah.
because that's crazy to like a mouth guard would cause depression, but it makes sense.
It
I mean,
could be
like something-
psychosomatic, but it could also. All my psychosomatic tools that have worked for every single other thing I've ever had don't work for this problem.
I wonder if there's an Alan Carr book.
Have you
for
tried using the
clenching.
mouthpieces like maybe during the day? Maybe you get used to it, so it's not just
Yeah,
at
a little
night?
bit. Yeah, no, I've tried.
He's tried like
Yeah.
7 different mouth guards, and
7 different mouth
thousands
guards,
of
and I
dollars.
forced
Oh.
myself to use. And the thing about it is, the last mouth guard I had, especially, is incredibly comfortable. It's like the most comfortable mouth guard I've ever had. I can sleep in it fine. I fall right asleep. I liked it, but then I would wake up and I would have all of these horrible.
And how's the
symptoms.
mattress going? Is that saga
So
over?
mattress was definitely a similar issue where I have a psychosomatic obsession
I
with
can't
this
not
stuff.
say agency every time you say
Yeah,
psychosomatic.
but no, I just decided the way I solved that problem was I just was like, I need to buy the most normal mattress I can find, and then just say everybody is fine with this mattress. You can't.
Right, you can't complain about this because of so many people being fine with
Everyone
it.
is fine. This is in hotels. This is people just. This is fine. If you can't get used to this mattress,
That's a really
It's
good
you.
device to do to
yeah
normalize it for you.
And then the second thing I did was I said, and you're not buying another one. So this is it. This is a good mattress.
You're on the right path,
Yeah.
Brian. I feel like this is going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh my, it has to. It's going to. Do not get held up by her name and her accent.
Oh, no.
Just trust.
No, I feel good.
Because that's the name of a hypnotist, man.
That's right.
Like, that's a crazy name.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
something
That's
you
a
find.
wizard.
You wanna
She-
find
yeah,
it?
She learned it
Yeah.
at birth. It's been passed down.
Yeah, she went to Shiz University.
That's right.
That is the name of a professor.
We can wrap.
All right, we got to go. Thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. I'll see you in New Hampshire and Vermont this weekend. And then tour dates resume again. That'll be my last tour dates of 2024. It's been a great tour. Thank you all the besties for coming out. And then I'll see you again in 2025 on that epic tour that you need a magnifying glass to like read any of the dates. So check that out, nikkiglaser.com. Thank you,
Kimmel.
Brian.
Oh, thanks
yeah,
you already watched that. Sorry.
yeah, Brian, Sean, and Andrew, thank you for being here. And we'll see you next time. Don't be good. Bye.